Welcome to Flourish. I'm Diane Planidin, and you're in the right place if you're ready to create an inspired life. And we do so by working on our own personal development, our own self image, so we can be strong role models for those we love and mentor. And today I'm super excited to be sharing the wisdom of Carl Jung, world famous psychiatrist and a little bit of a protege of Freud, but then things went awry. But that's not what this show's about today. This show's all about you and to help you live a more inspired life. So I'm going to start with a quote from Carl Jung that I think will make you happy. And he says, even a happy life cannot be without measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. It is far better to take things as they come along with patience and equanimity, patience and balance. So, turns out we actually need sadness, otherwise, we wouldn't appreciate our happiness. I find that quite fascinating, don't you? Now, if you have been a little bit in the doldrums because of this pandemic, maybe you've lost your job, maybe you've had to move, downsize, maybe you've had to make some sacrifices in your life. We apparently need all of this sadness in order to build on our happiness. Let me go on with a few more excellent quotes. It all depends on how we look at things and not how they are in themselves. So, what he's getting at is maybe you're facing a challenge and you need to reframe how you're looking at it. I heard a story the other day about a woman who, oh, she loved sugar, she loved jam, she loved cakes, anything with sugar. And of course, if you eat too much sugar, that kind of compounds on your health in detrimental ways. She struggled and she did diets and she did this, that, and the other thing, and you name it, she tried it. But until she could reframe how she looked at sugar, she was not able to give up the extreme habit of consumption. So you can only imagine how frustrating that can be because we learn things by repetition, and it was so ingrained in her subconscious to have sugar that she had to think of a way to literally get her conscious to reprogram what she was thinking about. And her final solution was to look at sugar in a different way. She decided that is not who she was. She was no longer a sugar baby. She was no longer craving sugar. And no, this did not happen overnight. But she decided to look at cookies a different way. Because it turns out that apparently, it didn't matter if she just had a big dinner. She always had dessert. She chose to reframe it, reframe how she looked at sugar, which reminds me of another fantastic quote from Carl Jung. And he says, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. I really wish they would teach this in schools. I really wish they would teach us all at a very young age that we have a choice on everything we do, how we think, how we respond, our emotions. Not easy to control, that's for sure. But if you are struggling with, say, feeling like a victim, and you just gotta pop out of it because you need to move on with your life, you need to move forward. Memory is for knowledge, but it's not for dwelling on. So you can make your own decisions and you can choose how you feel about them. From this moment forward, choose you. Choose your future. Choose the path you want to see for you and your family. And make a plan, but be prepared to pivot because the plan is never a direct, straight road. You have to be able to adjust along the way. And don't worry if you don't know how to get there. Ask yourself what you want to do, and the answers will come, the changes will come, and you will be able to pivot. One more quote from Carl Jung. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. I'm a firm believer in spirituality, but nothing will change unless you change. Nothing is going to make a difference in your life if you keep believing, well, whatever is meant to be will be. Que sera, sera, right? So get off the infinity loop. You just going in circles, going into infinity and beyond, and on autopilot. What do I mean by that? Well, that's autopilot is a habit. And we have good habits and bad habits, but they're all programmed into us and it's all repetition. So whatever you're trying to change, quit, become, you have to figure out how you can build on that through repetition and get rid of the old ways, and then pay attention to yourself and pay attention to the actions you're taking. Pay attention to what problems you're facing, what you're thinking. Oh, 60, 70,000 thoughts a day. And then when you're talking about the conscious and subconscious mind, it just goes another direction, doesn't it? Because apparently the conscious mind is not operating on the same system as the subconscious, and the subconscious is very powerful, and that's why once you learn how to tie your shoes, you don't have to learn it again. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you don't have to learn it again. That's all ingrained in you. It's all ingrained in you. So for the most important question to ask yourself during this transition is why? Why do I do what I do? And why do I want to change it? And what will I become that'll give my life more meaning? Ask yourself those questions and it'll slowly build little building blocks. If you become aware of the loop that you have created, then you can begin a fresh new habit that you want to embed into your subconscious. And this is not an overnight event. It's not. But the one thing that Jung said was, the least of things with meaning is more in life than the greatest of things without it. Let me say that again. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. So you get to create your own meaning in life, and you appreciate it. You appreciate life more when it has meaning. You try new things with an open mindset. Oh, the world is your oyster. You can do and be and create whatever you choose to do. Remember, life is a journey and it's a pathway. And you're going to have to change the different directions. Well, I hope that's given you at least 3 good ideas today on how you can, create a habit that's going to serve you for your meaningful life. How you can pivot and change. You don't have to stay in the infinity loop. You can create your own pathway and be prepared. And you choose who you become. Like Carl Jung said, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. And I choose to live a more inspired life. And I hope to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up. Write a comment. Tell me, what has changed in your life? Tell the world. Try something new. What did you try that was new and it made a difference? What book did you read? What episode did you listen to? Just think about it. I'm wishing you a wonderful day and to have a more inspired life.